Hi, it's Susan. Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be either a long video or a video in a couple of parts. I haven't decided how it's going to play out, and it sort of just depends on how the work goes. But this is part of the Positive Journals and Journal Spread collaboration that Joey DeFee, and I apologize, Joey, for mispronouncing your name, has organized on her channel. And she just wanted people to kind of find a reason to be positive and show you different variants of how we might craft something positive. And she asked me to be a part of it. And, at first I was like, oh, making another journal, just, like everything else right now, it felt really overwhelming. And I just kind of have been kicking it around in my head for the last week and really hadn't gotten anywhere. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to go ahead and make one of my little journals out of my Starbucks box. And I got so far as to cut apart the box, because I get these instant Starbucks coffees all the time. And it's a nice size for a journal, but I looked at that spine and all of a sudden I thought, oh, I can't do one signature. I mean, I even started cutting papers that were going to fit into it. And like everything else lately, it just seemed like it was too much. So I'm going to go way back, scale it way back to your very basic, for me, easy journal. And I'm using packing paper, the kind of paper that comes when we get all those shipments with all our art supplies in them. And I've been sorting it because the packing paper that comes with those perforated edges, it's exactly 8.5 inches wide, and then it's a little long. So I've been cutting it into 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, which is standard here in the US for me, my printer paper. So I could run it through the printer, and that's the size that I used a lot in my journals. And I found two tubs of it out in the garage. So there was just tons of this brown packing paper. So these are offcuts, and I said, okay, I have a stack of offcuts that are all about the same size, because I cut all that at once. I have some quotes, because for me, positive stuff goes to nature. And I wanted something that was going to work on these quotes, and I wanted to work small. So I just grabbed this stack and said, from here, I will make my journal. And of course, this is too long, but that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to make a journal. I'm going to use my two fern kits. I'm going to use some things from those. I'm going to use some printings that I've been doing, just some test prints and whatever else I find on my desk. And that's kind of what we're going to roll with. We'll see what happens. And I have no idea. I have not done this, just kind of creating on camera like this, just using the same kind of paper. It's all going to be an experiment, but that's okay, because sometimes being positive is a conscious decision just to take a step forward and decide, that's it. I'm gonna put one foot in front of the other, and I'm just gonna go one step forward, and that's gonna be good enough. This is a cute little size. I like this. I like working small. So that's gonna make it, about 3.5 inches sounds nice. That sounds nice. So see how simply I'm going with this, and I'm not even gonna go look for the paper cutter. I am just gonna cut. And of course it's crooked, because that's what happens when you cut a whole bunch of sheets at once, and you're me. And that is it. And am I going to do a cover? I might just do this as the cover. I just had an idea. What do we have pages wise? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8, 16. That's plenty. That's a lot. So what I might do, I'm already making it more difficult for me. No, I'm going to call this is it. This is my journal. I will make the cover on top of that. It's just going to be a little soft little thing, and I'm going to play in that on camera. So I'm going to pause that while I go find my thread. So I'm back, and I think I came up with a couple of other ideas that I'm going to play around with. So I found all these little bits of my jelly prints that were offcuts when I was covering notebooks. So I could make one of these a cover, and I could do that basically by sandwiching that in there, kind of like that. Or I could make it just a little bit smaller and still see that on the outside, which maybe is what I want to do. So that's one thing I'm going to do. I brought out a bunch of my ink pads, so I can maybe do some stenciling on the pages, which will be kind of fast. I found some green thread because it's my nature book, so maybe I need a green cover to go with that. It's kind of nice, except it doesn't have the feel that I want. Ah, this one. That's my cover. That was easy. Okay, one of the other ones can be on the other side. So that's going to be my cover, and then I was thinking I might use some of these on the inside and then I could stitch around them, which I kind of like that idea. So I'm going to go cut some papers and stitch around them, and then I will be back. Okay, I'm back. At least I hope I'm back. I haven't tried this pausing, and yep, looks like I'm recording. Okay, so what I did is I went and I cut strips from my jelly prints to go on each side of the brown paper. So, because I'm already making it more complicated because that's what Susan does. But it's also using some of the stuff that's on my desk, which is what a lot of us are doing during this shutdown, is using what we have around us, whether it's when we're creating or when we're cooking or whatever, trying to entertain ourselves. So let me get these out of here. Then I grabbed some different ink pads. So I was thinking I would try and do leaves. I was going to stencil the outside edges before I stitch things. So we'll see how that works. My ink pads might also be all dried up. I don't know. So I grabbed my greens. And stenciling is kind of time consuming, so I might do a couple of these on camera, and then of course this one's really thin, but it's okay. It's just to get some layers down. And I've got all kinds of different, so you can't even really tell they're leaves, so it probably doesn't matter as much. Well, let's do one the same, because you're not going to see really much of this. This might be more trouble than it's worth, which is something that Susan does a lot. And I mean a lot. All right, we might just say, no, because what I really need, I know, is a border one, right? But we'll just treat this like a border, because you're not going to see any of the rest of this. All right, so is this even worth doing? It's probably not worth doing, huh? It's not worth doing. I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to close these guys up for right now and not worry about it. And maybe what I'll do, since I only did one, I can just make this on the cover. You just got to roll with it, right? You roll with it. I can come back and stencil on top of the jelly print pages. But if I put this, whatever my cover piece is going to be, then it'll just look like an edge, a distressed edge, and that's fine. And this is my archival ink, which is good for the cover anyways. So yeah, this whole video or set of videos, depending on how it unfolds, is just going to be one experiment after the other. But I was really impressed to see so much packing paper that I had accumulated over the years. I mean, 3 huge tubs of it was ridiculous. All right, we're not going to worry about inks right now, which is good since it took me forever to open one of those. So let us just do a little bit of glue sticking on these just to hold them in place so I can sew. Is that what I want on the cover? I think. But let's see if there's something we like better. I know I want the cover to be green, and I know I want it to be the one that's got my golden paint on top so that it's got more of a protective coating. All right, so it's between these 3. Could be this one. This one, that's kind of interesting. Or this one, and that's the one I'm going to go with. All right, that's my cover. Nothing else really matters what goes where. So this is just to hold it in place for stitching. I must have had that on fabric. And we are not going to worry about being precise. Now the question is, are 2 of these going to be too much? They might be too much. Huh? Nah, that's going to be a nice little, it's going to be fine, Susan. It's going to be fine. Quit worrying so much. Is that what you're saying to me? That's what you should be saying to me. All right, there's my cover. Just to hold it down. It doesn't have to be all the edges. I can always go back. If the stitching doesn't get it, I can always go back over it with some art glitter glue. That's the thing. That's the thing we like in Fabri-Tac. So yeah, this was really hard for me to get myself going. Like many of us talking about, we've lost our crafting mojo, and we all have various issues we're dealing with, you know, either because of the shutdown, or, you know, some of us are carrying other baggage that has nothing to do with the shutdown, but it still weighs us down. And then you're dealing with the shutdown on top of your other baggage. So everybody's carrying something, and it was really great that Joey wanted to kind of get us all thinking in a positive manner. And, you know, I thought about doing them with my favorite just kind of positive quotes, because for many years I struggled with depression, and I lived on self-help books and positive quotes everywhere. But I'm past that really rough time in my life, thank you very much. And now I get my positivity from nature, so, and from creating, and from sharing my nature garden, boy, that's a my native garden, and my art with everybody here on YouTube. And I'm so grateful for the support that I get from all of you, the encouragement, the enjoyment I get from your comments. I mean, you really do make me perk up when I see those comments, and you guys join in the lives. So, you know, we're all in this together, and we all find our different ways to cope. And just because maybe you're coping really well with something, or maybe you have a lot of something that somebody else wasn't able to find, don't judge the way somebody else is coping with the way you're judging with it, because you have no idea what else is going on in their lives. And we all deal with stress differently. I remember when my kids were little, you know, every time they would get really bad hurt, I mean, luckily it didn't happen very often, but my son was one that was always doing things that would cause a lot of blood, like when he banged his forehead into the edge of the brick fireplace. And of course, you know, head stuff doesn't have to be really bad, but it bleeds like crazy. Or he and a friend invented a game where they were playing baseball with a metal bat and a soccer ball, and the metal bat bonked him back and hit him in the face and cracked the skin above the, you know, that bone at the eyebrow. So that was like really, really bloody. So, you know, you see all that blood, and you take him to the ER, and you get your stitches, and you do all that stuff. And I'm totally fine. I have no problem in the middle of the crisis. I handle it all just fine. Then we get home, and everything is okay, and I'm an absolute basket case. It just never fails. So even though they're all grown up now, I'm fine. I still have a lot of those same tendencies I had when they were kids, to be okay in the middle of the stress and then fall apart after. But you know, we all cope however we cope. Some people are criers. Some people are screamers. Some people, you know, are bakers. But I've been very fortunate, you know, here that, you know, most of my days are pretty much the same. I miss going to the pub and meeting our friends for trivia every week, and I miss book group, although we did meet via Zoom, and that was a lot of fun. So when I look for positive things in my life, you know, and some of you, if you follow me on Facebook, you know that at the end of every day, I post my happies for the day, because I think it's important that we notice the good stuff, because our brains can only hold one thought at a time, and it's going to be either, you know, really crazy good or crazy bad. And I'm opting to go for the crazy good stuff, because like I said, I spent way too many years going on the crazy bad. And every day on Facebook, I will post my happy and encourage people to do the same thing. And I find that that's been a real game changer for me, to stop and think, even on a day when it's a really hard day and there's a lot of really hard stuff going on in my life, I can still stop and find something to be happy about, even if it's just the way Zoe, my crazy dog, makes me giggle, or the birds that are coming in the garden, any of that kind of stuff. Let's see, I probably don't want to fold those yet. Okay, now I need the sewing machine, which I hope has enough thread in it. Let's see if I can maneuver all of that and not bump the desk that has the camera going on it. Would be nice. Okay. Ta-da! Oh, if I do that down here at my normal spot, you can't see. All right, we'll go up. We will go up. It's weirder to sew at this level because I'm short, and I have this little shelf that comes out so that I can sew down at my level. But since we're doing all this stuff on camera, all right, it's a little bumpy, but I'm going to let it go. This is just for fun. Okay, this is the cover, so I might want to do something a little nicer on the cover. Let's see. We go to, except that I don't remember what I need to do on my widths and things. So let's not be too crazy here. Let's just do our regular zigzag. We want it long, or we want it wide, but not very long. And I think that's it. Talk a lot over the sewing machine just because it's talking over a sewing machine. Yeah, so these pages are real warpy, and I'm sure it's because it's the packing paper, but I'm going to let it go. When I'm all done, I can stick it under some books if I really, really feel bugged by it, but I'm going to try and not feel bugged by it. I'll show you this one so you can see, and then all the pages are going to be the same, so I will probably then pause the filming while I sew the rest of these, and then I'll come back. I think that makes the most sense. Okay, and I've never been one to leave the threads, but I'm going to try leaving the threads on these this time and see what that does for me. So this is what I have right now. I just stitched all the way around, and then it stitched the stuff on the inside too. It doesn't matter if it's cattywampus, because by the time I get done decorating this, hopefully you won't notice that stuff. So I will pause, stitch the rest of these, and then I will come back. Okay, I am back. I forgot to turn the camera on when I was doing this, and I'm just poking my holes, and I'm not doing anything super fancy, just a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I did not make a template. This is my quick and dirty. I probably shouldn't have even poked holes because it's going to be a little bit harder to find my holes. Oh well, we'll do this the hard way, which is page by page. The holes are definitely there. I just wiggled my sheets a bit much, so then that means you end up going through page by page, and it's okay, you know. This is supposed to be our relaxing, finding our bit of positive time, not stressing time. And there is a lot of creep in this book because I didn't pay attention to, because I just didn't care about the inside pages being longer. And then when we sewed the fronts and backs, I guess I didn't show you that, but I did sew around all of these. I only had one boo-boo, of course, on the last one. But see, I just did a zigzag stitch around everything. And the boo-boo can be fixed. I'm trying to keep all my threads on the same side of the book. I may decide I don't like them and cut them off. I don't know. We shall see. So this will take, usually I would not have poked the holes ahead of time. I don't know what made me do that when I'm doing a simple one like this, because then you run into this issue where you're trying to line everything back up again. Normally I would just, if I'm doing just a quick and dirty notebook, I just use my needle to poke my holes and do it all at the same time, but this will work. Okay, leave a thread or a tail of the thread. We're going to come up and we're going to run into that same issue. Oh, no, look at that. Whoa, that doesn't happen very often where you find the hole again right away. Of course, I usually have trouble with it from the outside, not from the inside, but let's see how we do. Let us see how we do. Not yeah. Yes, I had it clipped and then I hit the clips and, you know, stuff happens. But this works. You just need to not stress. And if you get really stressed while you're doing something like this, just put it down, go do something else. Think about, you know, maybe some ephemera you might want to make on the project. Just, it's just paper and paint and thread, and it's not worth like getting stressed over. This is like de-stress time. And of course, getting to this point where you have a book sewn and then you can play in it, that's the most fun. This is not a book that I plan on writing in. This is a book that I plan on just looking at to bring me joy. That's what I wanted out of this book. All right, I want a longer tail. I'm not crazy about that green thread now that I have it, but you know, we can do something with it once it's in there. These pages are thick. So, isn't this exciting? This is like watching people glue, right? But honestly, I mean, if you're somebody that struggles with putting books together, and no matter how many of them I put together, there's always a point where I go, oh, well, that didn't quite go as planned. And it's okay. Oh, yeah, and splitting threads, there's that. Kind of wish that it had like a little clear tube, right? And you could just stitch through there. And it's always worse when the camera's on. If you don't have the camera on, everything goes together just the way you wanted it to. As soon as you turn that camera on, it's like, oh, let's be difficult. There we go. I want the rest of that tail. And get her snug. Get rid of my needle. Yeah, we'll be doing some inking or something on this thread now that I've got it there. I'm not crazy about it. That's okay. It is all okay, right? Nothing's slipping. Really? I like the feel. When I do my jelly prints, I use, you know, whatever paint I happen to have, and I've got a combination of just the cheap craft paints and then some nice golden paint. And when the top layer is the golden paint, it's got that kind of a plastic protective feel to it. So there we go. There is a little journal. Now see, there's creep here, and there are things we can do if it really, really bugs me, which I'm not sure if it will or not, but if it's really, really bugs me, picture this. Let's see if I have any lace. I don't have any lace, but you know, you can always do an extension all the way around the edges and cover it, which is what I'm thinking I might play with doing. And then maybe I'll just cover this thread. I was going to leave it for a dangle, but maybe I'll cover it with some muslin. I like that idea. I like that idea. I don't know about lace, but there we've got it. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. That's a lot more pages than I thought I was going to have. And I think these strings are going to be a pain in the butt. So I'm probably going to cut off the strings, and then I'm going to find some stuff to decorate the pages with. I know I'm going to use quotes. Oh, I can do that before I turn off the thing. I can go ahead and tear out my quotes. All right, and then I've got the rest of the stuff is going to be for collages. I've got some pages. This is from my forest ferns. This is from beautiful ferns. Something else from forest ferns I thought I could use for, this is what I wanted. I wanted my little labels. Some of my eco prints over text. That's good for collage. That's good for collage. Some test prints I did. So what I'm going to do here is tear them apart. I did give myself a little more space around these. I just pulled, these are quotes are all from my Nature Quotes one, the first set. It's not all of them, but it's just, I just pulled the short ones. That's what I wanted because I knew that my pages weren't going to be very big. So this is what I'm going to do is, yeah, that's going to be the right size for these pages. So I am going to, off camera, I'm going to go tear all my quotes up and ink them because you don't want to see that. And I will get stuff ready for collage. And I think I'm going to cut these threads off or maybe cut them shorter. I don't know. They are driving me crazy. Let me know down in the comments, are you somebody that likes little threads like this hanging? I was thinking I might put some beads on them, but I don't know. It might be too much on this little thing. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, I am back. I'm not sure whether I'll have to make some more adjustments, but we will see. I did some things off camera because really otherwise it's going to be like 8 hours long, and I'd like to see if I can just do this all in one video. We shall see. So I had some of these test prints for my Dragonfly kit. They're not the final. This is what the final tags look like, a little bit more green, but I had these test prints. I thought, well, I might as well use those up. So and I had printed the tags really small, so I just stitched that onto some paper that I had and made little almost tags. I had to punch some holes and things, but yeah, those are cute and they're just the right size for the journal. I was thinking what else positive I could share. And you know, we're nearing spring, and I'm hoping that wherever you are, there are flowers that bloom, because flowers sure bring a smile to my face. And in our yard, things are just really getting started. We've been, those of you that follow me know this, we've been slowly converting our yard to a native garden for wildlife. And so I've got a lot of native plants, and because of the way our property is set up, we have a lot of microclimates, so things bloom at different times. Stuff that's blooming in the upper front yard doesn't bloom in the backyard down below for another month, which is kind of nice. It staggers things, so then the critters have got stuff to eat throughout the year. So my big beautiful blue ceanothus is about done blooming, but I see some other things that are getting started, and that's kind of exciting. Need to do a bunch of yard work. When I find the yard work energy pill, don't have one of those. Do you have a yard work energy pill? They're hard. So I have little tags. I made these little tuck spot pockets to go on both of the covers. I thought, or inside covers. I thought that would be good, and I'll decorate them with something. So I was kind of trying to do things off camera so I could do the fun stuff, the decorating stuff on camera, because I think that's more of what we want to see. The construction is, you know, pretty basic. Fold some pages, make a journal. Oh, I made a little notebook that can go in one of the little tuck spots. And this was another test page that's the wrong watercolors, it was too white, but it works for this. And I just stitched my packing paper so then it matches the same idea with the rest of the journal. It's not really a journal because it's not tons of writing space, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. This is just something to get me working again. You know, I guess that's the biggest positive for me, is because I knew this deadline was coming up and I wanted to participate. And even though I had a bunch of ideas that I just didn't have the energy to go forth and make, knowing this was coming up, I did finally get going and start making something. And I'm really grateful for that, because, you know, we have to take our little kicks in the backside wherever we can find them, right? I did forget to lengthen my stitch. Usually I try and do it when I'm doing a straight stitch paper to paper like this. I try to do it really long so it stays together and it's not like just perforating everything. Changed some settings on my mic. Hopefully we don't hear too much of my husband having his meeting in the background, but there's not much that can be done for that with everybody working from home, and he works from home most of the time anyways, so we really need to figure out these settings, and hopefully it's not too frustrating. And if it is, well, then you can just mute it and watch the pictures go by. I do that a lot of times on journals, especially or on videos when I'm trying to watch TV, but it's not a show that I'm like super into, so I'll get caught up on videos and I'll just run them on mute with the closed caption going, because usually it's that I'm looking for inspiration. I don't necessarily need to hear, unless it's somebody that I want to hear what's happening in their life and get caught up. All right, that's good enough. Oh, and then I did this. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it was, again, my brown packing paper and some tea-dyed paper, and I just stitched it like I did the pages, and I figured I could, I might have made it too tall. Well, we might need to redo that one because it might be too tall to go in there, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that right now. All right, let's see what we've got here. I brought a bunch of my collage stuff with me. I've got my glues. I've got a huge mess. This is a huge mess, but I want to see. I'm not going to worry about the ephemera. If I end up doing any of that off screen, it's okay. We can fix up with that, catch up with that later. Where are my quotes? Because that's what I want. This is all for me about getting my quotes on the page. And I probably bought way more stuff over here than I really needed, but that's okay. Let us see. I got my threads. I got some sorry stuff. This is what I was looking for, was my little fab dangles that are just paper clipped together. So I was thinking I might be able to utilize some of the, and some of them are sewn. I wonder if I can make that fit. It's kind of long. I can trim some stuff. I probably won't decorate all the pages on screen. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. Decorating it all on screen might be a bit much. So these are just some little fab dangles that I just stitched on, again, my brown packing paper. So that would be a good thing to use in here on the brown packing paper journal. Okay. Let's see. So if we have this, oh, or is that a cover kind of thing? No, it's too big for the, no, maybe it's not. Maybe that's my cover. That could be my cover right there. I knew that was the quote I wanted on the cover. Okay, I'm going to save those aside because I really like that, but I'm going to come back to the cover. Let's see then. There are some more of those little fab dangle things. My browns, and don't like the sparkle. You know, and I guess there is still room to write if you want on there, but I'm thinking that's not going to be what I'm going to be doing with this stuff. because these are already sewn together. This will go together a lot faster. And boom. Thinner coat on the quote. Crooked. Crooked is not good. So we can move that up a little. And we can move that up a little. If threads are going to get caught under the glue, I'm going to leave them because I like that look of just threads everywhere. Just not the dangly ones. I did have to cut the dangles off. It was like they were going to make me absolutely crazy. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do, was just add a little something. All right, where's my pocket? What did I do? I moved my pocket stuff out of the way, didn't I? Let's at least glue those in so I don't forget what I'm working with there. Yeah, this was where I was like, whoops, I should have lengthened my stitch and not made it like I was trying to do paper piercing and perforations, but somehow it all always works out. And I'm going to be okay with that. But just a little dab of glue. Should probably get the art glitter glue for that, but all right, I'll leave that there. I do not know what I'm going to put there. I might put my other big quote there.
Which was a big improvement over the previous day.
Okay. So I don't think I have enough quotes for everything. Ooh, but I could do too big. I like that. This is just a book to make me happy when I flip through it, or make somebody else happy if somebody else buys it, but that's not my main goal. There's just some fussy cut napkins that were decoupaged onto some book pages. All right. So of course, half the stuff I brought, I'm thinking, well, I forgot to put my lid on my glue, so I wasn't thinking fast. Let's see if we can get another one of these on real quick so I can take advantage of that glue. What we'll do is we'll glue these two guys together since the glue happens to want to go to work right now. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll probably do the rest of this off camera. I don't know if this is the kind of thing people want to watch me work through the entire time, but maybe they do. You guys will have to let me know in the comments what you think. I might still not have made these small enough to be able to do much. There. I guess I could, so I'm thinking here, I could make more writing. And now I don't want to, this is supposed to be simple and positive, and simple and positive says, take it easy. Don't go crazy. Use up what's already sitting around here. So I was thinking about this here, and I was thinking I could put some paper, on there for writing spots, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I do not think I'm going to do that. some more flowers or butterflies. But maybe we'll just let that rest and we'll come over to another one here. Sorry if I'm not talking super loud. Like that. And, oh, and I actually have my Distress ink handy. What a surprise. Cut off some threads. Because nature is simple, the journal doesn't need to be super fancy. It can be simple just like the stuff out in the garden, which there's always that element of, oh my goodness, surprise when stuff starts to come back after being dormant for the winter or being eaten by the bunnies. Oh my goodness, there's a couple of plants that the bunnies in our yard just absolutely love, and I've got some of them that are growing successfully at higher places than they can reach, but for the most part they are just decimating some of my favorite plants, which is so frustrating. But since it is a garden for wildlife, we will eventually fence them out of part of the yard, but not all of it. Okay. I like that quote. That can go right across the whole thing. Yeah, so maybe what I'll do is pause this or stop it and figure out what's going to go on the rest of the pages. So you're not looking through, watching me do all this boring stuff. Well, I guess I could, oh, I was going to do, that's what I was going to do with one of the pages. All right, so let's go a little farther. And I was going to make a little tuck spot with one of these guys. Come down just a little more. Square it off some, and then I could put, I think, one of those little tags that I can't find, but that would fit in there. Yeah. More ink, more ink, more ink. It's okay. It's okay, Susan. It is okay. So let's see. I'm just going to do two sides. So I want to do this and this. Yeah. All right. That goes there. We're not going to worry about that one right now. Come here. Grab another one of these guys. I do like these with the packing paper. I totally forgotten I'd done these. That might be good over there. And just stitch a whole bunch of them onto your packing paper at one time and then tear them to the size you need when you're going to use them. And cut the threads. Cut the threads. The threads. Has to be cut. Would that be a good Monty Python sketch? Probably not. There's one about bunnies, though. I remember that. Don't like the pointy bits. There we go. And, whoops. Well, you know what? I should probably stagger these so that I'm doing some variety. Let's see. Let's grab what else I have out here for collages. I have... I thought I brought more stuff. Whoops, sorry, I hit the camera. Sorry about that. Hopefully it didn't make you dizzy. All right, there's a little bit of cheesecloth. But that could use a little bit of inking. Oh, and I forgot to cut out my little, okay, that might be a good time to do that. Let's cut out one of my little labels. And this is from the Fern kit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a bunch of stuff off camera and come back, since this has been 18 minutes and there's so much more to do on here. But at least you'll see a little bit of the collage, and then I'll come back before I do the cover and finish things off. But again, this is, this is about finding your way of being positive at a time when life is kind of beating us all up, and we're having a hard time staying positive. So for me, it is nature. It is the garden. It's too windy and cold to be out there in the garden today. But normally that's what I would be doing when I'm feeling kind of down, is I would just go stand out on the deck and watch the birds and the lizards and let Zoe run around in the yard.
I'm definitely going to try it. I just wondered if you knew the answer.
All right, let's see. Is there one that's not super wide? I like that quote, but I can make that work. I can absolutely make that work. Okay, we're gonna do the cheesecloth first, though. Just enough to get it in there, and then you can add some more. Okay, and then maybe we add some of these threads that we've been cutting off. Kind of like doing that, and some brown ones too. Yeah, like that. And finally remembered to look over the camera, make sure I was staying in frame. Oops. Yeah, I like that. Cut some of these a little different lengths so they don't look all evened off. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Oh, I can hear some of you saying, just go ahead and finish it on camera. Okay, pocket there, that there. All right, let's figure out quote-wise. We have how many empty pages left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then that's going to have the pocket that I've probably buried somewhere. Okay, and then quotes we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so let's vary that up a little bit. So we're not going to put that there because it's going to be a pocket there. So we can do one here. And we can use, it'd be a good place for another label, right? Oh, I pulled out, there we go, some of the ferns. I'm just going to tear around that. Oops, doing that off camera, sorry. As always, when we're working, the workspace shrinks. you end up having, you know, just a few inches to work in. And then, of course, at the end of every day, clean off your desk. Except I don't know about you, but I am not good at getting the desk cleaned off at the end of every day. These are from my first fern kit. I think it's just called Beautiful Ferns. And there's a whole sheet of mini ferns. So you can use them for tabs and paper clips and all kinds of goodies. My poor ink pad. I keep putting ink in it and it dries out, it seems like, the very next day. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm putting gobs of ink in it, but it should last longer when you re-ink it, right? But mine doesn't seem to be wanting to do that. All right, what's this? Something interesting in here. It's kind of interesting. The brown. Oops, a little bit. Didn't get inked. There's always something, right? That'll do. And we can do this. There's 2 pieces of fabric. Can we shred this a little? Ah, we can. Okay. Always looks better when it's shredded, right? And this just happened to be some scraps on my desk left from doing the patchwork book covers, you know, where I had the book text that I had glued down, and then I did the sheer fabric over it. Let's see if we can, get some fraying happening here so it doesn't look too precise. Not usually precise out in nature. Not one of those where you're going to come to my yard and see perfectly manicured bushes. You won't see any lawn that's a traditional lawn. However, there are patches of native grasses for Zoe to roll around in, and she loves it. All right, so then if we have this and this and the fern, that needs to be higher. Okay, these guys can go higher. And the fern goes there. Not sure. Not sure the fern thing goes with it. Might need to go someplace else. Maybe we need something even smaller, like one of these guys. Again, I didn't mean to print these so small, but when I was testing things out, and I forgot I had it set for 4x6 photos, so I ended up with some tiny, tiny dragonfly labels. And this is from Dragonfly Days, which is a newish kit. Cutting precisely on camera. Well, it won't be precise. I already know it won't be precise because I can't cut precise. But that's what inking the edges is for, so you can't see when somebody hasn't cut super precise. All right. Yeah, smaller's better. Okay, so what's going to go in what order? Put that there. We know we want that, so let's just kind of hold it in place. And I know I want that there. Now I just need to figure if this guy goes over there, dragonfly, oh, maybe he goes over here. Maybe that's what we do. We can go up. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot better. Okay. Sometimes you just need to keep playing with it until you figure it out. Okay, so I'll give just a little dusting because that's really sheer fabric, so you're going to see some of that through it, but I'm going to be okay with that. Yeah, I like that. I like it. Okay, at least what I could do off camera is maybe set up some of the collages and then I'll come back and glue them on. I think I like that idea. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back and I did some prep work for some things. We're just going to see how far I can get on this and then I'll probably have to go prep some more. But I decided, I just kind of went shopping in my studio to see what else I could find in there. And I found this little windowed stitch thing that was small enough to fit in here for a little flip up. So again, I'm not doing anything super fancy, creative writing spaces in here. This is just something to look at and smile. And I thought I could put my bird behind it. This guy is printed on silk. Back when I had a inkjet printer, I do miss being able to print easily on fabric. I may end up having to buy a inkjet printer with the instant ink programs just so that I can do some of the things that are easier to do on inkjet printers. Plus I have a bunch of paper and things still left. Okay, I want to see his face through there. There we go. All right, that's another page. And I figured out back here I wanted to do a little collage with my quote. Put this one down first. This was just printed one of my eco prints over some nice stiff paper that was in a book that I was gutting. If I do that, and then I want to fray this just a little more. I understand now why people do all the recording and then do a voiceover so you can speed up the recording, because otherwise this would be like 20 parts and I really didn't want to do a multi-parted one. I really kind of wanted to see if I could get this whole thing up for the one day that Joey wanted to do this, because I thought it was such a great idea. All right, we know that's where we want it. And we're gonna pull this little corner up and just tuck that in there. Yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that. And then see my little tags will fit in here. Okay. Then I can do the front one. I was going to put these on the cover and then I did something else with the cover. So I think what I'm doing, well, I like that one a lot better before. Let's try a different piece. I think maybe I didn't need quite as big a piece as I thought I did. Eyes were bigger than my stomach. Sort of happens with all the food we've been cooking lately. So funny, because we used to eat a lot of takeout. We haven't done any takeout for the last month at least. Okay, and then where was I going to put these guys over here, I think. Yeah. Yep. That's what I like. Before I stick it down, I'll make sure I got enough room. And it's going to be in the right spot. Tuck it up maybe just a little. Okay. So hopefully you guys are okay with me prepping some of this stuff off camera. I'm not figuring out the collages ahead of time, just getting some of the collage elements torn out and inked, and needs a little bit more glue on the edges here. Yeah. Just love these colors, and I'm really happy to be using my eco print papers that I had put aside saying, well, they don't really excite me, and now they're exciting me, so I like that. I'm going to put just a tiny bit. Doesn't take much to hold this really thin fabric. And I want to put some threads on top. Just a little, not a nest, just sort of whatever wants to hang will hang, and whatever doesn't stick in the glue will just come off, and that's okay. That is totally okay. Yeah. Yep. Just what I wanted. Just adds something interesting for me. And I could put some, I don't want to put something in the middle though. Nope. Okay, so, oh, I could do the cover, which was another one of my little, this is one of my photographs that I had printed on silk. So I stitched that to something, and I want to have enough room to put this. So I might need to cut this back a little bit. How are we going to feel about that? If that goes like that, and then, yeah, I think that's going to work. And all these wonderful loose threads, love it. Okay, except for that from the sewing machine. We'll cut that part off. Ah, oh well. More threads. More threads. This is all really thin material, so I don't want it to go all the way through everything, if I can help it. But this was one of the chickadees that claimed the honeysuckle at our old house. And he would just hang out there for the longest time. Oh, I like that a lot. I do. All right, and then I'm just going to take, I was going to fancy it up, and it was like, no, this is earthy. I'm not going to worry about, oh, except that's pretty thin, so we'll probably need to put something else on it, huh? So do we want this thin one on the top or on the bottom? I'm not sure. We could do something. Okay, let's do that. Let's get this one on, and then I'll just kind of hold my knot a little more. Let's get to my center. Doesn't need to be quite, there we go. I can cut some off the back side since I just glued down in the middle. Crooked, crooked, crooked. Okay. But that's okay. I'm going to be okay with that. I am. Mostly. Because you don't really have a choice. After a point, you know, the glue does eventually dry. And you have to be okay with it. Not that you can't tear things apart and rebuild them, because you can do that too. Alright, but I'm just going to cut just a little more off of that. And I probably should have done that on the other side too, but I can mess with fraying that some more off camera, but that should, this is some really old linen. But it's so thin, I'm afraid if I glue more like I should, it's going to pop through. So I'll grab something else that I can put on top. Alright, that's cute. I really like that. Okay. Give it just skinny, skinny coat. Skinny coat. It still wants to pop through. Oh well, what you gonna do, what you gonna do? But I'll put another piece of fabric on top of it, and it'll distract you, and you won't even know what you're looking at, right? Look at that, it's getting chunky. I love it. All my journals have alligator mouths, and I'm okay with that. Okay, let's go to this one here. And we can give it a bit of fabric and a quote. Is that good? Or not. I don't like that now. After all of that, I'm not that crazy about it. Maybe we'll just take some paper. Paper and another piece of paper. Nice use of all my teeny tiny scraps of paper. Don't like that. Tear another piece. This is some packing paper that had some inks of some kind on it. All right, and then maybe a little bit of fabric that we had cut off of here. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. All right, now we're doing just itty bits of glue to start to make sure we get them in the right spot. And then I go back and add. That'll be good about there. And this one, whoops, that was definitely more glue than we needed. All right. That's gonna go there. That's gonna go there. And we're gonna lift that up and tuck that under there. Mostly, yeah. All right, now we can add a little bit more. This paper's kind of thin, so I don't want to give it too much. This paper, however, can take it. And I think we're down and mostly straight. Mostly straight. Yeah, I like that. Okay, next page. Let's do the fern here. Needs one that's shorter, I think. Yeah, like that. And it needs something under it. It's kind of pretty, but it's going to show everything, which means I need to be careful how I glue it down. Oh, I like that because I like it with the brown over there. All right. That's going to go there. So let's just give that a little dab of glue start. That can hold it while I don't know what I was thinking on this. I don't know why I did that dab, because these guys can get all their glue at once. But you know, sometimes this is what happens. You just sort of do things, you don't know why you do them a certain way, and it's always more confusing when you have the camera on. At least as long as you remember the camera's on. Sometimes I forget the camera's on at all, and then that's a whole nother thing. Oh, I like that a lot. Love this paper. I don't have that much of it left, but I really like it. All right. And I've got a little pocket there, so we can put a little, I'm going to put some other things in there later, but for right now, all right, let's come here. This guy can have some ferns in the corner, and we can do, oh, is there one that's a little shorter? I should have made these quotes a smaller font. That'll work. And then it needs something. Something. It needs a something. A little bit of cheesecloth maybe. Didn't use a lot of it on this one, so I feel like I can keep using some. Let's shred it up, make it look wonky. I think I got a little bit of ink left on my, nope, I don't have much ink left. Crafting in my 3 square inches that I have here. It's so funny. So funny the way that happens, the way we shrink things. All right, where do I want the threads to be going? Like that? I kind of like that. Okay, let's put these guys together. not? Well, no, you want to make sure you're going to have enough room. All right. And then, yeah, actually, otherwise it's not going to close. So, do we need something else in there? It feels like we need something else. Something else what? Definitely not that color. Not that color. Thought I brought more threads. Purple. Do we want to pop a purple? Nope. Maybe just a pop of green. Let's see. I don't know what it is about the threads that I like, but they just, I guess it's the texture. So, in fact, you can't be precise, which makes it a lot of fun, because you don't have to worry about being exact on anything. Okay, yeah, I'm liking that. I am liking that. So, how do we want to do this? Let's get, because that'll be covered by the paper. It can have a nice wad. And now let's get the paper. Oh, yeah, I am still in frame. Shock, shock, shock. And then
This is the list of stuff that's, so this is the stuff that's in between. Probably trying to think of
I can get away with a little bit up in here. And then the threads are going to be tricky. Threads are always tricky.
I'm amazed, and China isn't low volume either. I'm amazed that China's getting.
I like that. Okay. All right, now we've got, so the back is done. That needs a little thread, huh? You guys didn't shout out loud enough. I couldn't hear you. It needs a little thread. So what I want is just a little glob that I can kind of gather up. Yeah. So this is why I save my threads, so I can do little things like this, because it makes me happy. Happy, happy. And I have lots of my little, these are old peanut butter jars. I can go back in with some art glitter glue and give it a little bit more staying power. All right, this guy needs, we can do, that'd be a bit much. What are we gonna use? How about if we do the brown? Yeah, the brown, oh, that's kind of big, huh? See, I didn't have everything prepped. I had a lot prepped, but not everything. These guys are all so big. A little one. This would be a little one, which I'm going to have to ink. So it might just be a really long video, but I am not going to break it into parts. I'm going to try and not break it into parts. Although maybe I'll do a separate video that's just the flip and then link to this for the whole thing. I don't know. I might do that. You can watch the create and then I'll do a flip of everything. Yeah, I like that idea, but I am not sure which one to share for the collaboration hop. Okay, we do this. And then we need a quote. That's a good use of a long one. And it's not going to need anything else. All right, get all this. Ooh, you get high from the Fabri-Tac, huh? Sometimes I forget. And then I inhale and it's like, woo, surprise. All right. Little little too straight. Okay, get the glue off of there before it's completely dry. Okay. So might need some, this, no, purple is not going to go with this one. I have a different, like a deeper orange. Yeah, there we go. Should have brought more of my brown threads. No, I don't like that one there either. This might just be the green book. Some dark green, yeah, darker green. Guess the threads are making me think of birds that are building their nests right now, so we've got some fun activity with that. The one time I actually get everything to the corner I want to pull it up. Doesn't need much, just a little some. Ah, come on, get under there. This is probably not making for the best video viewing, but I'm gonna go with it. Yeah, we're just gonna leave some little green ones in there. Okay, we still have quotes left, so we got to keep going. Keep going. So then on this side, no, don't like it. We got fabric there, so maybe we just have nope, don't like that. I may be reaching the end of what I've got prepped. Let's see. This is going to be a chunky little monkey. I love it. Oh, I could use another one of the thicker fabric ones because I've only done that one time. Let's see. Maybe this, then the back half here. We did that. And we can get another quote in there. Yep, that'll work. I thought about using the little mini ferns, you know, they're like postage stamp size. I was going to do tabs, and I thought that was just going to be overkill for this kind of a journal. So I said this is really low key. Am I doing this backwards? I am gluing this backwards. I thought that print was a little more vibrant. And I was going to try the lace around the edges of the cover, but this just isn't a lacy book. This is more of an earthy book, so we're just going to let the ragged over, you know, creeping pages go. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. Yeah. Now it's taken shape. Okay, so this one needs a fern. So do it like that. Maybe we'll try going the other way. Like this. Put the fern down there. Nope. I'm sure I have just the right one here somewhere. Or not. All of these are on the wrong side of the page is what the problem is. I need a different fern that would let me have something on the other side of the page. And let's see what else we've got here. This would work. don't need the whole label. I just need enough of it to give me some color under the quote.
Okay, so that's it.
All right, we do need ink.
Spain is mostly right.
So maybe what I'll do is go off camera and finish a few things, because this is already another half an hour, which is going to make it like an hour and a half for the whole thing. But then how am I going to do that with the flip? I don't know. Okay, if we do this, it needs just a little something behind it.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's a small number. Yeah.
This, and it needs a little fabric something. That's from the cover. That could go in there. Okay, I like that.
I think the others are okay. But yeah,
Yeah,
create
we are getting there.
this has been our recommendation. And they're free to disagree.
Okay, so we have this is going to go there. This. I want to get just a little bit of this down.
Yeah.
And then this will hold it the rest of the way.
Every element, I would say the first, I'd sort it by, so
It is hard to remember to keep talking while you're crafting.
so recommendation, so phase one countries.
Okay.
And you either
And
list or have them color coded.
I'm going to add
Yeah.
the quote there.
Phase one countries, green highlights and shades.
Okay.
And then phase two countries.
There. Okay, we got a space for one there. One. See if I figured out my... So I might need some more glue. All right, so there's room for one quote. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 quotes left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, look at that. Is she good or what? All right, this one can use one of the ferns that goes on the other side. And maybe one of the longer quotes. Wow, that's going to just fit. Okay. And then maybe we'll just put some threads with that. We'll make this one simple. Simple. Whoops. Of course, you don't need me to be on camera while I'm just applying glue to the back of a piece of paper, right? That's not something that we haven't all done a gazillion times. We could do... Let's see. It's just this is so long. Maybe there's one that's shorter would be good. I hear the mail guy coming, and I think I have a package coming, so I'm going to probably hit pause.
The volume is quite
It's going to need something. It's going to need some threads, right? Obviously, it's going to need thread. And that's got the orange one on it, so we could probably do that. We could probably do just some orange thread behind there. Yeah, I like that idea. All right, so we're going to start with this. Layer these guys up. And then we're just going to use the bulk of this. To hold down the glue. Yep. And then I can cut the loops and make them different lengths later if I want. Okay. And then this page, we've got a dragonfly we can put over here. And we can do a long one. And then it needs something, needs a something something. Some paper. Too big. Love this paper. And it needs another color on top of it.
Can you add a column at the end?
A little bit of the green on top of that. And the quote on top of that. And the butterfly. Yeah. Okay. We got something. Got a plan.
Difference between the tree and the plant.
This guy down. Well, this guy's not going to get nearly as much glue. We'll come back with the art glitter glue later, because it dries a little better for these really thin things. Okay. Almost filled. This is kind of exciting. I did not think that I would, I kept thinking I was going to flake out and not be able to participate, which was really frustrating me. And then I thought, I'm not going to like what I do, but I'm liking this. This is me. This is my kind of quote book, because I love quotes.
That's okay. The number's what's important, not the, and they're all, okay, one of them went up by, okay.
Oh, and that turned out to be the same shade of green there, so that was really good. That was a nice surprise. You can do just a dab, then I wouldn't need to come back with that. That's good. I'm okay with some of the stuff being loose. All right. Here we go. And maybe we'll make this a little smaller. More ink. So do people like these kind of videos where you're just watching somebody craft along and sometimes she forgets to talk because she forgets that she's got the camera on? I wish I'd brought more of this paper out in the different colors. Let's see. I want some different greens. That's too bright. Oh, this would work. That would definitely work. And then what else? Ooh, that might work. And that might work. Okay. If I give myself too many options, then I take forever to make up my mind, and that's not good either. All right, so we make this small here. And we add the fern. Maybe we can add the fern just to the, oh, okay, now we're getting somewhere. What else do we want to put with that? Does it need a little bit of yellow? Could do just a dash. Okay, let us do, get this one down. And we know that's going to go there. We're going to, the yellow's a little bit much, huh? It's a little in your face. Try one of the other lacy fabric scraps. Decisions. Let's see. Now let's just stick with the in your face stuff. That's okay. Ooh, but I don't want much glue. I just want just a dab. Because I still want to see that dark through there. All right, then we're going to use this to hold most of that yellow down. Actually, it's good that there's that yellow there because it says sunset. That sort of goes together, right? And then that fern might be almost too much there. I do have a smaller one. I might have something that's even better though. Let's see. Let's take another look. What do we got? What do we got? So I just want just a little bit. Doesn't need much. Oh, it's hard to tear the little one, so just a little bit of fern peeping up on top of things.
So then sort by percent. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, that makes me happier.
Um,
Ooh, definitely a lot of glue glob. Glue glob. There we go. Take a little bit more of that glue glob right there. Put it to work. All right, there. There. We got 3 quotes left, people. 3 left. Are you still with me? Huh?
sorry.
Let's see. We do that. That.
So Japan and United Arab Emirates. UAE 80-12 results.
Do I like? It's kind of fat. If I had another piece that wasn't quite so fat, like that. Okay, I like that. Let's glue the word down first. Yeah. As you get to the end, you start going faster, so it's like you just want to be done. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And this one. Don't have to worry about the glue coming through on this. But it's okay if the glue comes through because we are not going for perfection. We are going for positive feelings that come from creating this kind of stuff. All right, and then I'm just going to add that little dragonfly in the center. Well, off center. Of course, it would have been a good space for a little spider picture, but I didn't think about that. All right, 2 quotes left. That one's done, so we got one here. All right.
So take out hat. Take out that.
I like that with that.
And then so take out the word hat.
I like that. Might need one more little something. A something something.
And just put an apostrophe after it. Yep. Oh wait. That's also take it out.
So do this and this. And what else? What else? What else? What else? Nope, no yellow. A little bit of green. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Maybe. This coming this way. There we go. I like it. All right. Let's see. Get that down. Oh, this is going to be harder because it is sari silk. Just dabs, just little bits. Tiny bits. But I love that with the little cross stitching there at the hem. Okay, and then this part can hold most of it down. So let's glue the paper to the paper, or the quote to the paper. of this can get glued down, and that'll hold the sari silk enough that I don't have to try and glue without having the glue come through, because glue comes through on the sari silk. There's just no two ways about it. I don't want it at the same height. Doggone it. Well, I wasn't trying to, I wanted that to be offset, but I didn't think that through. Oh well. I'm gonna let it go. Uh-oh. Is that it? Oh shoot, I miscounted. I'm gonna have to go find another quote to fit in here. Doggone it. I thought I had counted so well. All right, we need a quote next to here since there isn't one on the other side of that page. And it needs a little something. Do this. Is that the same color? That's this, close enough. I got a little bit of the brown paper left. I like the lighter paper better. So we have this and we have this. And this was left from something else that I cut off. We put all those together with a quote. Yeah. I'm going to have to figure something out for the one that I miscounted. I thought I had them all, had enough. Not the end of the world. So not the end of the world. Ah! Excuse me. That cheesecloth was already glued to this paper, so that made that easier. That. Maybe once I clean up my desk, I might find another quote underneath there. Who knows? All right. So I need one quote there. I think that's the only place I need another one. And then I need to put some things in my little pockets. So that is me putting it together, and then I will finish up the last little odds and ends and then do a flip through. And I'm not sure which one I will post in the collab thing. I'll talk to Joey and see what she wants me to do. Okay, so that's what I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and look for the next video, which will show you a flip through of everything. And I guess I'm going to have to put some kind of a tie on this, because otherwise it's going to want to continually pop open. Okay, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Bye for now.